So welcome to today's Greater Life CoffeeCast, and the invitation today as we head into the weekend is when life gives you caffeinated children, take a moment to celebrate and smile. So what on earth am I talking about? Well, I'm recording this for you at just coming up to 1 a.m. on Friday morning. So the day you're listening to this, perhaps, depending on when you've tuned in. And I've just finished watching a very late night showing of the Simpsons movie with my two children, who are 10 years old and 7 years old. And rightly, you might be asking, what on earth are a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old still doing up at approaching 1 a.m.? Well, for the answer, we must trace back through the events of the day. A family trip to Longleat Safari Park with Granny, and Granny, being a dutiful Granny, had purchased some food and drinks for a picnic. And knowing that both myself and the kids enjoy kombucha, Granny had purchased some kombucha for us to enjoy as part of said picnic on the family outing. However, it wasn't until midway through the afternoon that a rather enlivening, shall we say, realization occurred. Because there was a spare can of said kombucha, and when my mother, Granny, finished the 2-hour bus journey around the safari park to watch all the animals, she was parched, and so she seized a can of the kombucha and had a good glug, whereupon my brother, who was part of the family outing, noticed that the can had emblazoned on its front the words "high caffeine content." And when he said this, I said, "Of course it doesn't, it's kombucha." And it turns out my mother had managed to purchase like a kombucha version of Red Bull called Charge. And so there it was, full of caffeine. And my darling son, at least, had drunk most of a really good solid-sized can in the morning. My daughter had a good half a can. And so this evening, as I finished up some late-night work calls, and around 11 p.m., I turned round, having closed my laptop, to see them both hiding in the room I was making the call in, giggling to themselves at the fact that they had successfully managed to sneak in and be party to my call without me noticing. And at that moment, I had a choice. I had a choice that I could have got angry, got frustrated, and caused undue stress to myself and to my children. Or, as I did, I laughed heartily with surprise, asked them what they were doing, grabbed a blanket, and we sat on the sofa and watched the Simpsons movie. Because there are going to be times when life gives you caffeinated children. And by that, of course, I mean circumstances so unexpected you just couldn't have planned for them in any way. And true, in the next day or so, there might be some downstream consequences of having caffeinated children. But in that moment, there was nothing I could do. I couldn't force them to fall asleep. They had caffeine coursing through their veins. So best thing to do was to make the best of the moment and to create a memory that will certainly live long in my memory. So, when life gives you caffeinated children, what would your choice be this weekend perhaps? Will you get angry, or will you choose to make memories? All right, have a great weekend.